Hello everyone, welcome to UNC Digital class. On today's sessions, I am going to discuss one of very important fact of computer graphics field, that's your computer animations. Here is the contents which I will discuss one by one on today's sessions. First I will discuss the concept about the given animations. Then after that I will discuss application of computer graphics, that means in which field the computer graphics animation concept to be used. After that I will discuss design of animation sequence, that means how the animations to be created by considering different types of control elements. Then after I will discuss about different elements like your storyboard layout, object definitions, frames, keyframes, in between, raster animations, and lastly I will discuss general computer animation functions in case of 2D and 3D. Now I am going to starting our initial concept, that's your introduction about the computer animations. In general way, the computer animation is the process used for generating animated images using computer graphics. And these animators are artists who specialized in the creation of animations. And this animations was to be derived from a Latin word, that's your amatio. That means the art of bringing to life, from animo, to animate or give life to, and that's to be acts for performing one actions. Okay, and that's the animations to be created on 2D animation format as well as on 3D animation format. That means in general way, if we express the term of animations to be created when any process of the given illusion momentum of the images that to be created or displayed on motion format, in this case we have to use the computer animations. That means on sequence collection of different images when that's to be embedding by using some action elements through which one types of event actions to be created in sequentially which to be looks like your realistic. In this case the computer animations terms to be created. Okay, that means in which field the computer animations to be used. In general way as I explains here, the animation is the process in which the illusion of momentum is achieved by creating and displaying a sequence of images with elements that appear to have motions. That means the use of computer in animation has enabled more complicated motions and more realistic images to be introduced, so that in general applications, that's your computer applications through which we have to animated different types of cartoons, movies, logos, advertising, scientific and engineering studies. That means in special way the computer animations to be used in case of video games, in case of cartoon creations, in case of mobile phones where that to be provides different types of play store through which different types of images that's to be movable from one location to another location. That means the motion of the pictures to be created. That means in this case the computer animations to be used, and also the computer animations to be used very quickly cycling through a series of images. That means here is slightly different from the last. That means in single way if we explain, the brain perceives the group of images as a single changing scenes. In film, the illusion is created by using cameras that records many photographs or frames each second. When the frames are played back by a projector, the audience sees a moving pictures, and this is to be known as the computer animations. Okay, that means in general way whenever the cartoons to be created, first the cartoons to be requires number of images, after that it to be requires some audio. When this given audio and the graphical elements to be embedded together, after that you have to view that the cartoons to be movable, the cartoons to be momentum, and this momentum to be created, that's your computer animations. Now goes to our next concept, that's your design of computer animation sequence. That means an animated film as in ordinary film first tells a story, then the scenarios of the story is developed next. A storyboard is then developed based on the scenarios and after that the storyboard is a filming in an outline forms, and this consists of key sequence also called keyframes, through which the of keyframes of the filmy scenes. That means here the keyframes form the basic of animations to create the animated filming. In general way, the animation sequence is designed by using the following concepts like your storyboard layout, and the second one is the object definitions, and the third one is the keyframe specifications, and the next one is the generation of in between frames. So first to check what is the term of storyboard layout. The storyboard is an outline of the actions. It defines the motion sequence as a set of basic events that are to take place. Depending on the type of animations to be produced, the storyboard would consist a set of rough sketches, or it could be a list of basic ideas for the motions. Okay, and the object definitions. Here, the object definition is given to each participant in the actions, and the object can be defined in terms of basic shapes such as polygons, circles and spheres, etc. In addition, the associated moments of each object are specified along with the shape. That means here the object definitions to be provides all over the participants actions definitions. Okay, and the keyframe specifications here defines details drawing of a scene at a certain time in the animation sequence. Within each keyframe, each object is positioned according to the time for each that frame. More keyframes are specified for complex motion than simples, slowing variation of motions. And last one is the generation of in between frames, and these frames to be defines all over the intermediate frames in between keyframes. The number of in between frames needed is determined by the media to be used to display the animations. In general way, the filming to be requires 24 frames per second, and graphic sequence are refreshed at the rate of 30 to 60 frames per second. Typically, time interval for motion are set up so that there are from 3 to 5 in between frames for each pair of key frames. That means, as you know, the computer animations to be requires number of parameters or number of elements, rough elements, through which one realistic actions to be produced. In general way, this to be consisting of different types of steps through which all of the raw parts or elements to be embedded together for creating one illusion's momentum for the given images. First, it to be consisting of different types of elements through which all over the animations to be created in an accuracy way. It to be contains different types of sequential elements. First, it to be contains storyboard layout. When the animations to be required for creating any types of animation object, first it to be collecting all over the story about the given animations. After the story tells, then the storyboards to be created one type of scenarios, and through the scenarios the storyboard to be collecting all over the sketches, images and also the audio elements. Okay. After that it to be contains another one, that's your object definitions. Here the object definitions to be contains all over the object action information of the single entity. That means if suppose any types of cartoon you have to create it, in this case there have two cartoons, one is the males and another one is the females. When the male cartoons to be watched, then in this case the object to be stores all over the male acting informations in between your given male images. Similarly, when the female cartoons to be normally to be provides its talking times or talking elements, in this case it to be provides all over the information about the given female cartoons, so that the object definitions to be provides the individual entity information of the given images, how that to be momentum from one to others. After that another one friends that's to be provides, that's your keyframe specifications. Once all over the images that to be stored all over the informations in between them individual ways, after that in this case the animations to be checked, the starting part of the given animations and in how much time that's to be required for reach of the end position of the given object elements. Okay, that means in single way the keyframe specifications to be provides the time quantum in between the given frames from one picture to another picture's momentum. After that, last that's to be provides the generation of in between frames. That means, as you know, when any types of movie or any types of cartoons or any types of gaming applications, whenever we have to create that to be consisting in intermediate between multiple number of elements. So, in between your intermediate files that's to be created by using your generation in between frames. By default, in case of movie creations, per second that to be provides 24 frames for its executions. Okay, so that's your generation in between your frames. And lastly, that's to be provides in very important element, that's your recording. Once all over the data that's to be collected, then that's to be sequentially arranged one after another. After that, that to be recording all over the informations through which the user to be finding the realistic applications. So, it's all about the general features, how to create it, how to designing the given animations for view up on the above part of output screens. As you know, it's to be provides different types of elements. Already I have to discuss. The first one is the storyboard layout. Here the storyboard layout is to be provides the outline of a actions. That means it defines the motion sequence as a set of basic that are to take place. And depending on the type of animations to be produced, the storyboard could be consist of a set of rough sketches, or it could be list of basic ideas for motions. Okay, that's your given structures of the storyboard layout. As you know, the storyboard layout to be consisting all over the sketched images as the sceneries to be provided. That means whatever the sceneries to be created by using the story elements, after that the storyboard to be layout collecting all over the sketched graphical elements. Okay. Now goes to our next concept, that's your object definition. Here each object participating in the action is given object definition such as terms of basic shapes such as polygons or spines. That means the object definitions to be provides whatever the graphical elements that's to be used for given animation creations, that all over the object definition already to be stored. That means which type of actions that's to be requires all over the things that's to be predefined in case of object definitions. That's your object definitions. That means here the pictures are stored. Here all over the individual pictures that's to be stored its own object informations, whatever the actions to be required when that to be momentum from one to other locations. Okay. Now goes to our next concept, that's your frames. Here the frames is one of the many single photographic images in a motions pictures. That means when any pictures there has to be momentum from one to other locations, that's your frames. The individual frames are separated by frame lines, normally are needed from 1 second of a frame. That's your structures of the frames. That means here the one pictures, that's your one frames. When that's to be connecting with the two pictures, that means that times whatever the elements to be created, that's your frames. Okay. Now goes to our next concept, that's your keyframes. The keyframes is the keyframe in an animations and the filmmaking is a drawing that defines the starting and ending points of any smooth transitions. That means it provides only the time quantum from starting to end points. Okay, and also a sequence of keyframes with momentum the spectator will be see. But the position of the keyframes on the film is defines the timing of the momentum. 2 or 3 can be present for a span of a second. That's your keyframe. And that's your keyframe specification structures. That means from one frames to another frames, when the pictures to be momentum, how much time quantums to be required, that's to be defining by the keyframe specifications. And specially that's to be defined the starting to up to ending positions of the given animations. Next goes to in between. It is the process of generating intermediate frames between the two images to give appearance that the first image evolves smoothly into the second images. In between are the drawing between the keyframes which help to create the illusion of motions. And in general way, every film requires 24 frames per second and graphics terminals are refreshed at the rate of 30 to 60 frames per second. That is your in-betweens, and that is your graphical structures of in-between frames. That means here that to be provides the starting and that is to your ending, but in-between is the fine art of knowing how and where to draw the line so that the action intent is clearly understood by the viewers. A good in-between is not just halfway between the two lines. That means first you have to view that here that to be contains 5 points elements even hours, and after that it to be contains 4 pixel points. Then when we have to request for finding all over the intermediate pixel points in between your first point to second points, in this case we have to again calculated that to be contains 2 intermediate pixel points, so that easily we have to finding our pictures actions. We have to easily identify which type of pictures we have to require for creating, so that we have to use in betweens. After that, the now goes to our next concept, that's your animations types. The animations to be created by using 3 ways. The first one is that's your traditional animation ways, and the second one is the stop animations, and the third one is the computer animations. In case of traditional animations, the animations to be created by using hand drawing pictures elements. That means here the hand drawing pictures to be providing for creating one illusions through which the momentum of the graphical elements to be created and also displayed. After that, another one concept that to be provides, that's your like your stop animations. That means the stop animations to be provides for creating one types of prototyping animations in rough ways like your traditional ways. After that we have to use different types of technological elements through which the higher version of the animations to be created, means like your robotics. After that, another types of computer animations to be created like your computer animations. That means like your 2D animation and 3D animations. That means by using the computer systems, if we have to needed for creating any types of 2D graphical elements that to be momentum on 2D plane from one to other frames, in this case we have to use the 2D animations. And also that to be provides for viewing any types of realistic images on 3D format. The front portion of the given pictures elements we have to viewing, but the backside portion of the elements we cannot be view of. But another one very most important types of elements that to be provides, that's your raster animations. In case of raster systems, we generate real-time animations in limited application using raster operations. That means by using real-time animations, that means here is some time quantums to be provided through which once the applications to be started, it to be executed on the given time quantum. If the time quantum to be expires, then the given animations to be stopped automatically. Such animations are 2D and 3D transformations of an objects. Okay, we can also animate object along 2D motions paths using the color table transformations. Also here we have to use the RGB color informations through which all over the object to be transferred on different color elements. Okay, that means it is the main important criteria of the given animations types. Okay, that means in single way if we explains the animations to be provides in 3 ways. The first one is the traditional animations, also to be known as cell animation, and the hand drawn animations. Here this animation was the process used for most animated films of the 20th century. Here the individual frames of a traditionally animated film are photographs of drawing, which are first drawn on paper. To create the illusion of this momentum, each drawing differs slightly from the one before it. The animated drawing are traced or photocopied onto transparent acetate sheet called cells. After that, which are filled in with pens in assigned color or tones on the side opposite the line drawings. After that, the completed character cells are photographed one by one into motion pictures filming against the painted background by a rostrum camera, and this process to be known as traditional animation creation elements. After that, there should be provide stop motion animations. The stop motion animation used to describe animation created by physically manipulating real world objects and photographing them one frame of the film at a time to create the illusion of the momentum. Okay. After that, there should be provides different types of functional elements. The general computer animation functions here as the first one is the animation packages such as the wavefront provide special functions for designing the animations and processing individual objects. Okay. It provides different types of object elements like your object manipulation and rendering. Then it provides the camera motions. Then it provides the generation of in-betweens. That means, as you know, in case of computer animations, whenever we have to viewing any types of 3D object, in case of 3D planes, there has to be provide some pictorial elements on front portions of the given object. That means the user only to be viewing the front portions, but the back side of the 3D images the user cannot be view of. So how that to be eliminated? That to be eliminated by using some rendering concept. So that the computer animations to be used generally three functional elements. The first one is the object manipulation and rendering. That means first here the object to be collecting all over the storyboard information by using some individual entity elements through the help of scenarios. After that, if any picture elements that to be hides on the back portion of the given object, that to be eliminate. Then after it to be creating all over the images in sequentially as the scenarios to be provided by using another one concept, that's your camera motions by using some audio elements. After that to be provides generation of in between. That means some time quantum in between the sequential images one after another. As you know, every graphical elements that to be viewing by using some time quantum. That means, for example, suppose you have to viewing any types of video applications and that video applications to be provides for view of time, that's your 30 minutes. After the 30 minutes completed, the video to be automatically turned off. That means again you have to on, after that you have to view up, and these types of process to be known as that's your computer animations. Okay. So, on today's lectures we have to learn about the computer animation of the topic of computer graphics. So, why we have used the computer animations? The computer animations to be generally used for collecting sequence number of images, for creating or displaying number of illusion elements from the format of momentums from one location to another locations. After that we have to learn the design step of the given computer animations by using different elements like your story, then after that storyboard, then after that object, then after we have to creating the time quantum by using your keyframes. After that we have to learn in between. That means the film is to be requires 24 frames for creating only one film. After that we have to use the recording terms. Okay, by using this number of steps we have to creating one computer animations. Then after we have to learn different types of animations like your animation traditionals and like your stop animations, and the last one is the computer animations like your 2D and 3D. And after that we have to learn our last term, that's your objective of the computer animations. Why we have used, what are the benefits to be occurs? The computer animations to be provides one benefits for creating one types of video or any types of cartoons or any types of play gaming applications for user convenient purpose by consisting number of images and some audio textual elements. So that we have to use the computer animations. So for today's class, that's all. If any conflict or confuse in your mind, then you can ask me with the help of comment box. That's all. Thanking thou.